Production.
Break down Galaxy Digital Holdings here. We're going to go over a few things. I just wanted to start off by saying big thank you to, people reaching out to me saying get well soon and good luck with the surgery and shit like that. I just had my surgery a few days ago now. They sent me home, starting to eat normal again, and I just really appreciate everyone kind of, reaching out, wishing me good luck and all that shit. It means a lot. And let me tell you, there's nothing better than being able to shit and piss like a normal person. So I'm glad that I'm back on track to doing that. Even while I was in the hospital, I was kind of looking at Galaxy, looking at like reference material from shit that I posted like maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago. Still to this day, I was saying this back in January 2023, still saying it now. One of the most underrated stocks I've ever seen. I'm going to get into why exactly. So there's a bunch of data that I got pulled up. I'm just going to read it off because I don't want to mess anything up here. First thing I kind of want to pull up here is this quick little chart. So when we look at Galaxy from last cycle, right? Look how many pullbacks we've had. 40%, 53%, 29%, 39%, 35%, 41%, right? All of these pullbacks, and they still led us up thousands of percent from the lows. So it went from 55 cents up to $32 here, and that's just counting all the pullbacks. It did go a little bit higher than that. So keep that in mind. Like right now, right, if we're looking here at this stock right now, this is the major breakout point. This is the kind of the inflection point telling us, okay, this new trend is beginning. We had a massive downtrend, went sideways for over 450 days. This is the initial beginning of a breakout here, okay? From here, all we've really had is one major pullback, and it's right here. This pullback here was around 30-something percent, 37%. If we get it exactly, it was higher than that, right? Almost 40%. So just from this pullback here, it's given us a 37% pullback. Well, if we look at this to reference, that's just like maybe one of many to come. So that's one of the reasons why I don't think right now is a great time to be kind of bearish Galaxy or negative Galaxy. If we're looking at this stock right now, it's down maybe 18% from its highs from $15, right? So if we look back at that, we're down somewhere around 18% from the very tippy top we made, which is around, let's say, right, $15.25 till now is $18 or 18% pullback. That's light work, and I think that, believe it or not, I think there's going to be more to come. So we need to start paying attention to that, if anything. So another thing I kind of want to bring up here is there's things we need to look forward to. And a lot of the stuff that Galaxy's doing is underground. Sure, Galaxy, like, they just released a month-to-month report about their assets under management, increased from last month $2 billion. So it's clear that their asset management team is clearly, they're going off. They doubled their asset management just from the end of last year, and we're not even close to reaching the peak of this bull market. Like, things could get absolutely nuts. We could be looking at potentially $20 to $30 billion asset under management, closer to, mid 2025, end of 2024. So it's obvious that there's things that this company's doing that they're getting right. So you got to really, step aside, don't mid-curve it, and think about what is this company doing that we might not be as privy to obviously the people working at the company. So something I kind of want to highlight is, last cycle during the bear market, we picked up GK8, the custodian services. Why are they doing that? And I think a big play here that is kind of underground that we're overlooking is what Galaxy is trying to do in the stable coin market. especially with the euro stable coins right now. They could be very well positioning themselves to use this company GK8 to be kind of the middleman and the validator for stablecoins in Europe. And if that's the standard, if Galaxy sets the standard here, they could very well, kind of cover the entire space of stablecoins for all we know, right? So I think this is something we can't overlook. This still needs to be, it's still a work in progress, of course, but this is not something we should sleep on by any means. Okay, so this is one of the major factors of Galaxy and why we should be kind of, paying attention. This could be one of the most underrated stocks. And lastly, I kind of want to go over some things here. I posted a thread the other day on Twitter. Kind of my, perception of like, this is a big reason why we're so underrated. If you look at all these other names, Coinbase, their price to book ratio is 10x, MSTR 13x. Even last cycle, I believe, what was it? We went up to like 8 to 13x price to book or something like that, something crazy. I think we're sitting around 1 to 2 price to book right now. So it just shows us how undervalued we are, even though we're sitting at $12.80, right? You also got to think about, okay, how much assets under management did we have at the peak of this last bull market? I don't think it was anywhere near $10 billion. Not to mention all the GK8 and all the other things we did to build during this bear market. There's no NASDAQ yet, right? It's just nuts. So all of that is kind of like the fundamental basis of why we cannot be sleeping on Galaxy. When we're looking at this stock from a technical perspective, what do we got to do? We look at the cycle that we're in, okay? The cycle of the stock that we're in is huge. So we come here, had a massive run, went sideways for a bit, kind of like a sine wave, right? Had a bear market, we accumulated, had an accumulation phase, went sideways for a bit, and now right here we're starting this bull market. Okay, so why I think that's important is because in a bull market, what do we need to expect? We need to expect that there's going to be higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. You get the point, right? That is a bull market. It's not going to be so structured just like this, but when you look back, it's pretty evident to say that when we're in a bull market, this is how stocks like to trend. Okay, it's very clear, it's very obvious. If this is what we're looking for, how can we anticipate the next move that is coming in Galaxy? And I think it's very important to pay attention here that what we're looking at is the very beginning of a bull market. So we need to expect there to be higher lows. We got this higher high. What could be developing is there might be a higher low being developed. So if we're anticipating that right now we're in the phase of developing a higher low, that means there's going to be a higher high to come. Okay, so let's zoom in now. What can we expect from this move if we're expecting that we're in a higher low range? First thing we want to do is we want to mark out, okay, like how is our consolidation happening? And right now we're developing this kind of downward channel, downward or wedge type of pattern you could look at, right? Either way, we're coming down, coiling up tighter and tighter, creating this higher low. So what we could be looking for is where could we look for that bottom? Well, we have this area right here, which I like a lot. And the reason why I like it so much is because it marks off a significant volume zone at the open, right? And we wicked up and we rejected. So we also have a gap up back here, right? So this zone right here is where I'm thinking we might get a potential retracement back to. We could also look back to the very close of this, like why did we close up here leaving a wick? So these are kind of the three levels. I know this might be a lot for some, but this is what I'm looking at here on Galaxy, where this channel might lead us to into this area. And I think that if you're buying in this area around here, if it comes, I think you're an absolute winner for this next leg up, creating that higher high. So again, we went over a bunch in this video. I hope it wasn't too much. I still hope it came of value, but this is what we're expecting. We're expecting there to be pullbacks during this bull run. And we're also expecting that if we are in this major bull run, which I do think we are, we got NASDAQ uplisting potentially to come. We got the Bitcoin halving potentially to come. There's the GK8 services and the stablecoin ventures. What are we doing with that? Asset management is going off. We're in a bull run. There's so many things lined up for us. What we need to pay attention to is how deep we pull back. We had one major pullback of like 38, or sorry, we said 35 to 37%. I forget exactly. One major pullback so far. There's more to come. Use those as opportunities and buying opportunities, buying dips, etc. That's the breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.